Hello, everybody on YouTube. It's your boy, the Memphis XL, right back at you with Check This Out. The show, we take a look at whatever sort of deck we want to look at, be it a troll deck, a meta deck, a rogue deck, or a casual deck, and we just have ourselves a good time. So, for today's episode, we're taking a look at the Scrap archetype, which is my personal favorite synchro archetype. It's an older deck, but it's quite powerful, much more powerful than you would expect, thanks to some very small but very, very appreciated support that they've gotten over the years. So we got ourselves a scrap deck aiming to go second today, trying to OTK our opponent and do lots of damage. It's nice and simple, and we're going to love every bit of it. So, real quick, we're going to go over the list, and then we're going to go right into some duels where we'll show off the combos and all the wombos. So for our main deck today, we got ourselves 3 copies of Big Old Turtle, 3 copies of the Scrap Golem, 2 copies of Scrap Shark, 1 copy of Miscellaneous Man, 1 copy of Scrap Orthros, 3 each of Scrap's Chimera and Raptor. These guys are very important. We have 3 of a new tech card, Vernalizer Fairy, the Mountains and the Mettaton Snow. Very nice card in this deck, I have to say. 1 Scrap Searcher for, cheeky plays. We have 2 copies of Turbo Booster for additional link material, 3 copies of Scrap Yard, 3 copies of Lightning Storm, and a Harpy's Feather Duster for back row removal. We have triple Fossil Dig because you can never get enough Scrap Raptor. We have 1 Terraforming, 1 Called by the Grave, triple Supply Squad, triple Scrap Factory. As for the extra deck, we have 2 copies of Scrap Wyvern, love this guy. We have ourselves a Nightmare Phoenix and a Unicorn if we happen to need them. We have Appaloosa the Bruiser and Borreload Savage Dragon, who is over here. This is actually Boral Sword Dragon. Got a little ahead of myself there. But we got Phantom Fortress Enter Blothnir, the Scrap Dragon, the Borreload I already mentioned. We have Cloud Castle. We have Ravenous Croca Dragon Arcthis, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, double Scrap Twin Dragon, and a Baron de Fleur as a level 10 option. As for the side deck, if you want a deck that's a little more combo-esque, and a little more focused on negation of your opponent, I would recommend trying out some Scrap Dinos. It's a simple engine in of itself, just 1-2 card combos, and it's pretty powerful. You just have to replace Scrap Factor with the Dino Field Spell and a couple other little things, but if you want to try something just a little bit different, I would recommend the Scrap Dinos themselves. There's other level 10 synchros, of course. Ruddy Rose Dragon is pretty good for just nuking boards and banishing graveyards. We got things like Double X Saber Gotoms if you want to snipe a card out of your opponent's hand, which only will hit 1 card out of your opponent's hand, but it's still something. And other Scrap Dragon if you feel like you need another Scrap Dragon, but, 1's pretty good in the deck. There's also other rank 9 exceeds like Earth Slicer who can pop stuff, and Sacred Tree Beast who, I don't remember what he does, but he is a Sacred Tree Beast. And there's also Baguska if you feel like you are getting hit with a lot of imperms and effect veilers and things, but you managed to make 2 level 4s, this guy can save your butt. We also have things like Masquerena, if you want to give some protection to things like Boral Sword and Appaloosa. And Mind Control is here just to make making the Scrap Wyvern a little easier. Again, if imperm is your problem, this can be helpful to steal an opponent's monster or their kaiju, what have you, and use it to link off into your boy. As well, the double pill is also for the Dino Engine, but also Monster Born if you feel like you just want to revive more things. But Fertilizer does that in of himself. So we're basically running 3 copies of a limited, but still a Monster Reborn for the deck. So that's the deck here today. Let's go ahead now into EDO Pro, the Wild West of Yu-Gi-Oh! And have ourselves a good old time with some scrappy boys. Alrighty, our first opponent, another day and another card game. We want to go second with this deck. We do have going first up, but primarily we like to go second with this deck. We'll kind of run our opponent over. I like this hand. This is a very nice hand. Simple, yet effective. So we got ourselves a nice going second hand here. I've got my field spell. More importantly, I've got a means of getting into Scrap Raptor, or Scraptor if you prefer. He is a very important boy, Scraptor. He allows me to start up all of my plays, all on his lonesome. Okay, a Lightning Storm? No Lightning Storm. We will play through. I have no idea what he's playing. It's probably something floodgatey and annoying, but we shall soldier forth regardless. Because that's all we can do right now. We're just going to have to hope and pray. Take a shot. Take a piss in the wind and see where it goes. So let's go ahead and start off with our Fossil Dig. and search us a dino. We're going to get our Scraptor. Get Scraptor. And I'll save this for later. I'll show this combo off just a little later. Not yet, but soon. But we got the Scrap Factory, another piece of amazing scrap support with very confusing artwork, considering this is a factory and they're clearly being demolished, the scraps. It's kind of weird, but regardless, we're going to summon out Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor has this effect. I can pop one of my monsters to get an additional normal summon. More importantly, if I pop Scrap Raptor, I can search any scrap or get my field spell. And I could use the field spell now, but actually, yeah, why not? It doesn't really matter that much. We'll chain block in case of Solemn. We're going to summon out the Fridge. The Fridge is one of those old cards. It's one of those old cards, kind of like Infernity, what's it called? Infernity Necromancer. Where he does not have a solid once per turn effect. It's a once per turn, but if I just send him to the grave, bring him back, I can use it again. So, what we're going to go ahead and do now is summon out our Scrap Chimera with that additional summon. And we're going to go in, bring back the boy. So far, my opponent has done nothing, which is a little concerning, but at the same time, again, I just gotta have to go through. We're gonna summon the other very nice piece of scrap support. See, before Scrap Wyvern and Factory, scraps were very limited, but they were also pretty good. Not as good as they are now, but they, you know, Scrap Dragon, he was one of the OG Synchro monsters. One of the best boys in early Synchro era was Scrap Dragon, because he was very generic. But then they just kept, you know, few pieces of new support. That's all it took to make scraps even better. So, Wyvern, he brings back a monster. Then we must pop a card. We're going to pop Chimera, because if Wyvern lives when one of my guys gets popped, I can bring back a dude, such as another Fridge. And then I pop a card of my opponent. So we're going to pop the middle card. Chain Material. Interesting. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I don't like it. So we're going to summon our monster to our field. There is a reason Golem can summon to your opponent's field, which maybe we'll explain later. I don't know if we'll ever get to that particular strategy. It's a very niche strategy. It goes with Searcher, but it is a thing. Also, if my opponent just had like a giant beefcake of a monster, I could just, you know, send a monster of mine to his field and beat over it. But right now, we're just going to abuse the Fridge. We're going to sneak into the Fridge, get the foods, and we're going to summon out a couple of our twin dragons. Hello. How are you? So I've got two of these, but you know what is better than two? Three. We're going to go for Vernalizer of the Fairies. I'm going to ditch him in an Earth Boy, draw another card, and hey, I can revive the Fridge. See, this is what's nice about this new card here. This new piece of support here, I can just discard it and one of my monsters, draw a card, and bring back a boy. That gets me more boys. It's pretty nutty. Let me tell you, Scraps, way underestimated. People think, oh, it's just a Synchro deck. No. We are so much more. And I'm trying to think what I want to make here. I could make so many things. I could just make Appaloosa the Bruiser, but I'm going to make Ravenous Crocodragon. Even though I really should have made him... The slightest mistake I made. I should have made Argathis and then my other Scrap Twin Dragon. Because this guy's effect doesn't activate. Since I use Vernalizer, only Earth can activate effects. But it's okay. So we're going to special summon Turbo Booster. This is a really nice card if you need additional link material. Because if you normal summon, you can just summon it from your hand. And Twin Dragon, I can pop one of my cards to bounce two cards. Again, not a solid once per turn, meaning these both can bounce. So there's a clean OTK. We have no idea what this guy was trying to do, because that's how quick it was. So we're just going to attack him with everything we've got, and that'll be good for game number one. You get an idea of what this deck is about, other than me, you know, messing up the order, but that happens sometimes. You get so used to going for one dude after another. Sometimes, you know, could have done a little bit more, could have drawn an extra card, but not necessary. So, there's a win against some kind of fusion deck, I presume. I don't know what kind of fusion deck, but 'twas a fuser. So, let's go into duel number 2, see if we can get some more nice OTKs with the Scrappy Boys. Just see what else we can go up against and show off scrap power. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. And continue to marvel at scraps. It always surprises me that scraps are still such a viable bunch. It's an older deck, but they still work. I like that they work, because there's too many lockdowns, too many combo decks. We have combos too, but we don't need to lock down very often. Oh, yes, one more. Okay, 4 will be good enough. 4 will be good enough. We don't have a lot, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. We'll set field. Set, and I can't summon anybody at the moment. We have Scrap Orthros, which can only be summoned by popping one of our other scraps. So, can't summon him. So I'm just gonna have my turn and see what happens. So, yeah, like I said, too many lockdown decks nowadays. Konami, I don't know why you made so many lockdown cards, but you... Altergeist. My mortal foe. If y'all don't know, this is my least favorite deck in the game. I don't care for Altergeist. I have never cared for Altergeist. It's one of those decks I don't like. I always take pleasure in destroying them. Which hopefully will do. He probably has like Solemn Judgment to protect these. But damn it, I'm gonna... Like that, Altergeist. I'm counting that. That might not have been much of a duel. But I do have Chimera, so I could have... You know, I could have done for stuff. I gotta go for Chimera, Turbo Booster, gone for Wyvern, brought back, summoned 2 Golems. I couldn't have done any Synchros, but I could have done Golem Beatdown, so that's good enough. So, very nice for us. We're gonna call that a win. I have no idea what he's saying. It's probably something dumb. But let's go for duel number 3, and hopefully have some better back and forth. Alrighty, third opponent. What was I talking about before? I was talking about something about scraps. Scraps are cool. I like them. Not just aesthetically. Aesthetically, they look pretty cool too. This opening hand is awful. This opening hand, it does not speak with a mighty power. If I can draw a scrap, it'll be good. I can do something then, but this is a tricky one. That's a tricky one, because I run this Vernalizer dude just as like a new tech. I'm trying this new thing, and I feel like there's a lot of potential here with the Vernalizer. You know, I can discard him and another copy of himself, just draw one, special summon back the fatty, and just have a material for what have you. And we're up against some form of Ojamas. Specifically, seems to be the Armed Dragon variant. Alright. Well, that's a thing. 'Tis a thing, indeed. So... Alrighty. Ditch level 3, get level 5. That is indeed level 5. Does, pink go off? It does. Okay, well, I get to draw another card. I do like that. I do like me some new cards. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so we got discarding. We'll just discard a Vernalizer, since I happen to have all 3. Oh god. Me too. We both bricked. The battle of the bricks. To be fair, some of the scraps look like they could be made out of bricks. Not a lot of them, but they're mostly scrap metal, hence the name. But, you know, I would not be surprised if there was a brick inside of this shark. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do here, activate the Vernalizer Fairy of the Mountains, ditching Scrap Shark, and then we'll draw... Ooh, baby, there you go. There's Scrap Raptor. That's pretty good. So we'll bring back Scrap Shark just to have a big beat stick on the board. Not that important, but I can give it a shot. So I should mention Scrap Shark. He's a foolish burial for this deck. If a card effect's activated while this guy's on the board, then he blows himself up. He's an old school level 4 beat stick. And, well, but he does get destroyed, you can send a scrap to the grave. So I'm going to go ahead and pop Scrap Raptor. This will get me my field spell. That'll also activate everybody. So I just go activate Scrap Raptor. Activate Scrap Shark to block. It is, in fact, the scrappy deck. And so we're going to go ahead and send Searcher to the grave. We'll set him up for later. And we'll get our field spell. I can't use Miscellanea Boy because I use the Vernalizer, but I shouldn't need to do that. I should, in theory, be good. So we'll go for Scrap Chimera. See what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, he said he bricked. Who knows? He might have Nibiru for all we know. We can't trust him. He could have Nibiru. And oh, there's so many things I could do. And I think I will do those things. You know what? I could go hardball. But I don't think I need to. So we're going to special summon back our Chimera. Just because he's the most, generic one to go into. I could go for whoever. Doesn't really matter. But, go for Wyvern. Oh, and if I didn't use Vernalizer, I could actually go into, Trishula. I still could. I still could go into Trishula in this board. So I just bring back Chimera, and I can bring back my Raptor. And I could make Trishula, but he wouldn't do anything. That's the only sad bit. Now all my non-scraps get destroyed. But I don't have any. So, I'm just going to go ahead and OTK again. What can I say? This deck OTKs out of the wazoo. It's what we do. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's enough damage. I'm just gonna attack. I'm not gonna flex too hard. I could go for Trish, and that would be funny. But I don't need to do it. So, there's a win, a quick win, but a win nonetheless against an Ojama armed dragon deck. A powerful bunch when they don't brick. They can just summon out of the wazoo. So, we'll attack with the Golem. And that ought to be game. Just about. I mean, once I attack with everybody, I'll attack with Searcher. We'll let this guy do some damage. So, there's another OTK against a guy. Let's go ahead into duel number 4. Yeah, I'll give this guy a rematch. Let's just go straight for a rematch, sure. Why not? I clicked the wrong button. We'll just give this guy... No, straight up, let's give this guy a rematch. I feel like we can afford that. So, what is this opening hand now that we have? We're going second again. That's what we like to do. The cat. I see here of rescue cat. That's fine. Because my opening hand is perfect for going second here. Other than the lack, disturbingly, of a Raptor or thing to get Raptor. But I do have the field spell, which is just about as good. If you can't start with Raptor, at least start with that field spell. And things will be good. So, what is my opponent to do? Because these get destroyed. Pink will go off, so we both draw one. And he does Scott. Oh, the magic. Okay, I don't think Call is going to be as useful against this dude. I could be mistaken. Oh, and he seems to have top decked into the wrong things. Let me think here. Alrighty. Alright, let's go for the Vernalizer once more. Ditching Gamma Seal. I don't think we're going to need Gamma Seal. Do add 2 Ojama. One of each. One of each. Yeah, that's the thing about Ojama Magic. If you have, 2 of each in your deck, and if you draw into... if you have both your yellows, for example, you can't use the effect of Ojama Magic, sadly. Sadly, yes. Yes, that is unfortunately how that works. Oh, Searcher! That's even better. Yep. My battery's dying. Hold on one second. There's a lot of editing that's going to be left out in this episode. I'm just going for it today, if you couldn't tell. And you might be wondering, Memphis, why haven't you activated Harpy's Feather Duster? This could be solemn judgment for all you know. I don't care. It's fine. I've already beaten this dude once from just, him getting to do nothing. But this will be fine, because this way, my opponent has a chance to do something. So we're going to pop the Searcher and go for everybody. Sadly, I don't have a tuner in the graveyard. But I can still do Ojama Pajama. Okay. Alrighty, so what is he doing? Ojama Pajama, ditching things, special summon of a fridge. Oh, now he misclicked. My opponent, he's having a rough day. And we'll get rid of Ojama Pajama. This is pretty much just going to be game, isn't it? Actually, 50... I don't know if that's quite game or not. I don't know if I have enough damage to do that. No. I mean, I can make Appaloosa and just annihilate his brain and his soul and all that good stuff. Sadly, I don't have a tuner. If I had a tuner, this would be game, because I could just go into all the things. But I don't. So, we'll just give him a bit of the tickle. We'll give him an extra turn. That's fine. And again, I could make Appaloosa the Bruiser. Do I really need to make Appaloosa the Bruiser? I don't have a tuner. I don't have a tuner. That's the part I'm worried about, is that I don't have a tuner. Alright. We're just gonna hedge our bets and make Appaloosa the Bruiser. Just in case we need Appaloosa the Bruiser. But we should be good from here. Supposedly. I mean, I've got 3 monster effect negates, and my opponent has, pretty much given up. So, we gave our opponent the best chance he had. Unfortunately, things happen. No idea. Well, unfortunately, my opponent bricked today. But I'm only going to count one of those as a win. So, let's go ahead into the 4th opponent. And hopefully we'll get that perfect match where, we've shown off a lot of what this deck can do. But let's go again and see what happens. Alrighty, fourth duel. That's where we're at. So sometimes it goes so quick, you don't know where you're at. So, we're on the 4th opponent. Things have been going pretty smooth. Pretty smooth as I would hope and expect from Scrap. Like I said, not a super complicated deck, but pretty damn good. And so, for this opening hand, little rough. I need a scrap. Pretty much any scrap will do. I mean, I've got my factory already. All I really need is a scrap monster. Now, I should mention, when I first decided to do scraps, I was like, okay, what scrap variants do I want to play? And I did think about the scrap dinos. Very similar, very powerful, very much a going first variant more of scraps than anything else. Just build a bunch of negates and things with Appaloosa and Borreload, which we can also do if we are forced to go first. But I went ahead and made a poll up on my channel, like asking what people wanted to see. And most people did want to see pure scraps. I think that Scrap Dinos was actually last place, so that's weird. Some people just don't want to see like negates and things. What can I say? Some people just want to see some nice, clean OTKs, and that's good. That's all good. So, we should have expected this one. This guy's called, well, I should say Galaxy-Eyed Gur. This might be one of those rare female duelists. I don't know. Can I hit a girl? Is that legal in this card game? I'm pretty sure there's a clause in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rulebook that says that hitting women is allowed in the context of playing a card game. So, I'll be okay. I think we'll be alrighty. So, Photon token. I mean, you got your tokens. You got your Photon tokens. And let me get... No, what is it? Afterglow. Okay. I think my... Is everybody bricking tonight, or is it just me? Could be. Alright, let's go ahead for Divernalyzer. Gonna ditch our Scrap Golem and see where this goes. Alrighty, scraps. Okay, we'll get that going, I suppose. So... Does it really... Yeah, I'll bring back Scrap Golem. I got a Turbo Booster and a Scrap Searcher, so this will work just as well. So, my opponent is playing Galaxy Eyes Afterglow, right? Does it do anything else? Nope. This only works when it's detached as a material for things. Interesting. I don't know. People are bricking tonight or what? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I was kind of hoping for less people to brick, because I wanted to show the power of this deck. It's kind of hard to do that when your opponent bricks. We give them an extra shot and everything, but, sometimes you're just up against the people who are bricking. I don't know what to tell you, because Afterglow Dragon, he is an OTK machine. What does this guy do again? He, detaches himself, doubles the attack while number exceeds, like that one Prime Material Dragon. He's a pretty beefy dude. That'd make him even beefier. Oh, go for OTK, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, because my opponent just did not start with much. And now she's thinking. And if you give ladies the time to think, they're going to take all day. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna make that joke. I'm gonna make that joke. Only once. But it's all I need to do. Alrighty, so my opponent has finally decided to hit me with Effect Veiler. Luckily, I've got Call by the Grave right in me hand. So I will not be losing my effects. Thank you. So, that aside, we're pretty set. I mean, I've got Booster Gold. See, I don't even need Scrap Raptor. He's a cool dude. But I don't need Raptor. I just like him because he's cool. He's a pretty cool dude with a nice, friendly attitude. Which belies his nasty look. Because he looks like he would rip off your face or eat your pizza. He would just come into your house and eat all of your pizza. But, we'll be good. Let's go ahead, and since we have a Golem, I'm going to go ahead and get a Raptor, just so I have a tuner on the board. And we'll go for a Scrap Golem. And pop this. So. I wish I had... if only I had another Scrap in the... I could make Baron de Fleur just for some variety. Let's do that. We're gonna do that. Why not? I could also just give him Scrap Searcher, but I feel like that's just redundant, considering I'd rather do more damage. So, what we're gonna go ahead and do... I use the Vernalizer, so I can only use the Earth Boys, so let's go ahead... Use these two. Make Scrap win the Dragon. And then, bring back the Raptor. And we should be good. Always be careful when, activating Golem, though. Because if you ever just summon it to your opponent's field, well, you basically just shot yourself in the foot. And I'm pretty sure that's game, 3, 62, 72. Yeah, I guess still OTK doing this. I just want to do this just to show that I can. Make good old Baron de Fleur. So, that'll be another OTK, baby. Again, not so much that we have, done the combos and showing them off. A lot of people are just bricking tonight, and it's a little annoying. But we got time for one more duel tonight. Go ahead for duel number 5, and hopefully my opponent does not brick. That's all I ask. No bricks. Alrighty, 5th and final opponent. Last chance for some honestly, I just want to see some back and forth. I don't know what it is today. Just a lot of people bricking. Hopefully this guy will not brick. Come hell or high water. I just want to see my opponent do stuff. What was that? Oh, these are that one archetype that I don't know anything about. Okay. Tearalaments. Tearalaments. They're a fusion archetype. I don't know. Let's see. Target effect monster controls the 8th effect and send a monster you control the graveyard. This card sent to the graveyard by card fight. Alright. So if I nuke his back row, he gets stuff, essentially, is what I'm reading into this. I kid you not. Gasp. Alrighty. King of the Swamp. I'm not that surprised at King of the Swamp. He's an old tech, but he's a tech. Oh no. Another brick! How? How is everyone bricking tonight? I don't get it. I don't get... Are people not testing their decks before they come out here? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Alrighty, well. Let us consider the options. Let's go ahead and start with Scrapyard. Bait out Ash Blossom. It's always good to bait out Ash Blossom when potential. Oh, and hey, we got Raptor and Camaro. That's already pretty good. Let's go ahead and get Orthros. Just because. So, what does this guy do? This card specials on take a turn with the... This card sends the graveyard card effect. Send 5 cards from your deck to the GY. I imagine that's bad for me. I could be wrong. So... Let's kaiju this. I don't trust the fusion. And we'll activate Lightning Storm on the back row. I don't trust that either. I know he's going to get a thing. At least one thing. Target Tearalaments in the... Okay, so he gets a monster back, and... he gets a card. Yep. Okay. Like I said, I have no idea how this archetype works. All I can tell you is they have something to do with the fusion. But we shall go forth. We shall stride forth mightily. Let's go for Raptor. Let's pop the Raptor. Oh. He had a hand trap. What does this do? Oh. I thought it did something. Forgive me if I assumed that the hand trap did things. Although I presume that if he had sent certain cards, they would have done something. I don't know how this archetype works. Someone will have to tell me how this archetype works. I am not reading wall of text right now. I could. I just don't want to. So we'll go for command. We're just, you know this combo. You've seen it a million times. We're just going to see if we can OTK or not. Can I OTK from here? Maybe. I mean, put this in attack mode. No, it's junk in the trunk. Get it right, young man. I am going to, go to the scrap yard. That's where I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna pop myself and be like, activate. Activate. And bring out to the fridge. And maybe, yeah. This ought to work just fine. So we're gonna pop. What does this do if it's sent to the graveyard? Fusion summon fusion monster. Aha, he wants me to pop that. Well, I'm not dumb. I might not want to read you, but I can read at least 2 whole words of the English language. You're gonna have to be a bit smarter than that to stop the likes of me. So, what we're gonna go ahead and do, let's make the Archosaur before we go for Vernalizer. Not that I have Vernalizer, but if I draw into it... Oh, wait, 1 second. Okay. I'm just making sure that I got the right dude. So, we're gonna go ahead and make Archithis. He will draw me 1 card. If I could draw Vernalizer would be nice, but we don't, but that's fine. That was just an optional thing anyway. So, I don't think I've got an OTK, sadly. Let me think. Some this way. Target scrap, destroy it, it's destroyed. Let's see. Nah, that doesn't really help me. I could special summon this and do stuff, but I really don't need to do that stuff right now. Do I even need... I could just attack this thing, right? Yeah. I think so. Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I can just punch this in the face. Unless he's got like a different hand trap that I'm completely unaware of. It could be a Dark Honest or something. But no. It doesn't quite work that way. So we'll attack with everybody, and kind of wishing I'd thrown in that Gotham's right now, because I could have tributed Gotham's to snipe a card out of his hand and be like, you get 2 cards at the start of your turn. 3 cards, easy to make stuff with. 2 cards, not as much. Although, again, I don't know how this archetype works, other than the fusion. So I could be wrong in that regard. Alright, I could have OTK'd there. I was looking to do different things, and I was mistaken. Let me think about this. Do I make Appaloosa? I could make Appaloosa and have, like, some negates, and I'd also have a pop. Terminator reference, who's that? Golem? Oh, no, it's Scrap. That's right, because he's got the thumbs up. Like in Terminator. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... Actually, hold on 1 second. Nah. I think we'll be okay. So we're gonna make Appaloosa the Bruiser. Just to have Appaloosa on the board. And yeah, I could have OTK'd. Honestly, it's fine. Let's see how we do when we don't OTK. You know, sometimes you're not gonna OTK, whether it's because you don't do the math, or your opponent, like, if he had Battle Fader, for example, we're gonna presume, right, or not Battle Fader, Swift Scarecrow. Let's say that our opponent Swift Scarecrowed. This is what we would do afterwards. We've got ourselves an Archivist, I can pop a card. I got triple monster effect negate, which does not destroy, therefore does not activate these things. Because if I'm reading these right, if these go to the grave by card effect, things happen. 2 poly and a non-starter. Ouch. Sorry, my dude. Well, that is unfortunate. My opponent has surrendered. Too many bricks tonight. I don't know what's going on. There's so many people bricking tonight. So, unfortunately, that's going to have to be it. We did show off the deck at the very least. So, I'm at least happy we got to do that. And we did a few OTKs, so I'm happy with that much. So, let's go for the end screen. Talk more about this deck. Alrighty, Scrap OTK 2022. And we got a bunch of OTKs. Granted, I will say, well, we did get to do the OTKs. We got to do all the damage and all the good stuff. We got to show off the Vernalizer doing his thing and Raptor doing his thing. A lot of my opponents were just bricking tonight, which doesn't really show off how good our deck is. Our deck is quite powerful. And against more, I don't want to say competent opponents. My opponents were competent. They all just had bad luck. Tonight, my opponents are having bad luck. I had the luck of the Irish. I have a random 4-leaf clover on this old clay skull I have on my desk here. Okay, this brought me luck. Okay? That's what happened. So, I'm happy that the deck worked. You know, it's not a complicated deck, Scraps. So long as you can get into Raptor and, at least have Factory and or Chimera, you can just go out the wazoo and annihilate your opponent and all that they hold dealer. So, it's not complicated, and it's a nice, fun deck that doesn't rely on negates so much unless you're going first. So, that's today's deck, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the likes and the subs and all that good stuff. Still trying to get to 600 subs on the channel. And if we do, I might have something special in mind. So, thank y'all for watching. Your boy Memphis is signing out. Till next time, y'all stay safe, stay happy, live a good life, and I'll see you next time. Peace.